Hello again, fam. Let's discuss the untold stories of African history's game changers and see if we can uncover the most forgotten figures who shaped our world. Today, we're talking about African history's forgotten game changers. These are individuals who made significant contributions to the continent and the world at large, but for some reason have been left out of our history books. It's time to shed some light on these incredible people and give them the recognition they deserve. When we think about historical narratives, we often tend to focus on the same old figures, the ones who have been drilled into our heads since we were kids. But the problem with this approach is that it creates a narrow and incomplete view of history. There are so many other individuals who have made significant contributions, but their stories have been pushed to the sidelines. It's only by broadening our scope and recognizing these forgotten figures that we can get a more accurate picture of what really went down in the past. Many historians and scholars have been guilty of perpetuating this narrow view of history, often focusing on the achievements of European explorers and colonizers, while often overlooking the accomplishments of African innovators and leaders. This has led to a situation where we know more about the exploits of someone like Vasco da Gama than we do about the achievements of an African king like Mansa Musa. It's a glaring imbalance that needs to be addressed. By acknowledging the contributions of these forgotten game changers, we can begin to challenge the dominant narratives that have been imposed on us. We can start to see African history as a rich and complex tapestry, woven from the threads of countless individuals who have shaped the continent over the centuries. One of the most fascinating examples of a forgotten game changer is Antenor Firmin, a Haitian anthropologist and intellectual who challenged the racist ideologies of his time. In the late 19th century, Firmin wrote a groundbreaking book called De l'égalité des races humaines, which argued that all human races are equal and deserving of respect and dignity. This was a radical idea at the time, and it earned Firmin both praise and criticism from his contemporaries. Another overlooked figure is Queen Jinga, a 17th century African queen who fought against the Portuguese colonization of her kingdom. She's often referred to as the Mother of Angola, and her legacy continues to inspire African women to this day. Then there's the story of Ibn Battuta, a Moroccan explorer who traveled over 75,000 miles during his lifetime, visiting over 40 countries and documenting his experiences in a series of books. One of the most compelling stories I've come across is that of Tiye, the powerful queen of Nubia who ruled Egypt during the 15th century. She was known for her intelligence, her strategic thinking, and her military prowess, and she played a key role in shaping the course of Egyptian history. But despite her achievements, she's often relegated to the footnotes of history, overshadowed by her more famous husband, Pharaoh Amenhotep III. Another addition to this forgotten list of African innovators is George Washington Carver, 1864 to January 5, 1943, an American agricultural scientist and inventor who promoted alternative crops to cotton and methods to prevent soil depletion. He also carried out groundbreaking research on peanuts and was one of the most prominent Black scientists of the early 20th century. Yes, these individuals and many others like them are some of the forgotten game changers of African history. They're the ones who have been pushed to the sidelines, ignored, or overlooked. But their stories are just as important, just as fascinating, and just as relevant as those of their more famous counterparts. So why is it so important that we recognize these figures and their contributions? It's because their legacies continue to influence our world today. They inspire us, they challenge us, and they remind us of the incredible diversity and richness of African culture and history. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the untold stories of African history's game changers. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below and let me know about other figures you think should be highlighted. And if you want to learn more about African history, be sure to check out my other videos on the subject.